You guys won't believe it. Huge Pokemon card restock at my local GameStop. Let's look at the numbers. Welcome back to Rob Does Pokemon, my friends. I hope you are doing well. It is reprint season, guys, and we had a ton of drops on Thursday and Friday for Pokemon Day, and it was kind of bittersweet for me. Like, I hope you guys were able to grab some stuff because I actually spent the morning locked in PokemonCenter.com Prism. I missed out on all the 151, all the Surging Sparks, all the Prismatic, and all of the Evolving Skies. I'm kidding, guys. There were no Evolving Skies drops. But honestly, guys, after missing out, I was feeling a little bit bummed out. But then I got this beautiful message from Mimic Brew.
What's going on, Rob? Let's look at the numbers. How about not? I got a better idea. Why don't you get out of that dirty, filthy basement, you filthy animal, and go find some Pokemon cards in that there Canadian wilderness, eh? Yeah, let's try for once. Get out of your basement, Rob.
So I hopped in my helicopter and I set off on my quest for some shiny cardboard. Let's look at the numbers. So my first stop in my helicopter was my local Walmart. And as you guys can see, there is absolutely nothing in the aisle here, guys. This is where the trading cards usually are. It's just this little Pokemon thing here, nothing around. And if I go down here, they've got some empty card sleeves for binders. I even did the thing where you wipe your hand under, you know, the Breaking Nate thing. There was nothing, and they really do need to clean the floors. So no dice there at Walmart. My next stop was my local GameStop. As you can see here, I'm doing the thing where you walk in, and then there's only one person in there, so I put the camera down pretty quickly. I wanted to see what's going on. It doesn't really matter though, because all they had were the Greninja EX boxes, and they had some binders too down here, but that's none of the stuff that we were looking for right now. That is none of the stuff we wanted. So at this point, things are not looking good at all, and I'm ready to kind of give up because, quite honestly, I got kids, I got the job, I got all this other stuff going on with content I'm trying to keep up with. I do not have time to be driving around the city looking for Pokemon cards. But there was one last place I wanted to try, and this is a store I go to quite often. They are awesome, but recently they've just been completely cleaned out. I think the only things they really had in there was some Temporal Forces tins and some Pokemon Go ETBs, maybe a couple of Scarlet and Violet base bits. But anyway, I drove over there. The store is called Beyond the Pond. It's a little hole in the wall. It's an awesome place, some great owners. And I was shocked, guys, when I walked in the store because there's 151 just sitting on the shelf, a 151 booster bundle next to Surging Sparks, Obsidian Flames, and Stellar Crown. This stuff was not there the week before when I went in, guys. This stuff was not there. And if we lift our heads up a little bit, which I did, we can see not Pogo, Evolving Skies, Elite Trainer boxes in stock. And I'm like, what is happening here? This stuff was not here before. So I turn around and check out what is behind the front counter here, guys. Like, we have Surging Sparks booster boxes, extortionately priced, but Surging Sparks booster boxes, Obsidian Flames, Paldea Evolve, Scarlet and Violet base. We got all this stuff too, which we'll talk about in a minute. If we keep going along here, there's the Charizard collection box, wasn't in before. We got Stellar Crown. Guys, we got friggin' Forbidden Light just hanging out. A Forbidden Light booster box just hanging out. This stuff was not around. The Vivid Voltage was, okay? I promise you the Vivid Voltage was. But I asked Brian behind the counter, I said, what's happening here? And he said, well, Rob, that's nothing. There's way more in the back. So I turn and I go to the back room. And here's what I found in the back room. We got Surging Sparks booster bundles. There was just one at the front. It was just for security, for display. They got 3 cases of this stuff, guys. Surging Sparks had a big reprint, February 14th. Here it is. Here it is, guys. They've got a bunch of it. Obsidian Flames again. They got Stellar Crown, but it gets better. It gets better. They got some Houndstone EX boxes too. They got a little Silver Tempest action. They didn't want to put these at the front for whatever reason. Little action on the Silver Tempest there. Then they got more Surging Sparks. They didn't just get one booster box. They got cases back here, guys. There's underneath this one, there's a sealed case, and this was held back. This was a restock. This was not a reprint, according to the invoice they showed me. They got Evolving Skies here, $450 Canadian for an Evolving Skies Elite Trainer box. There's a few more bits down here, but then guys, I look right down on the floor. I look down on the floor, and what's staring back up at me? 151. Perfectly sealed booster bundle displays. Like, this is nuts, guys. I've never seen one of these in the wild. I know some of you guys have seen them in Target and stuff, but I've never seen these in the wild, guys, let alone in my local card store. This like dingy hole in the wall that usually just has Pokemon Go in stock. Like, this is nuts for me to see this. Like, I was like a kid in a candy store. And then Brian said, well, hey, we've got even more stuff. Let me show you the rest of it. We got a little Fusion Strike action. We got a little Paldea Evolved. Got some Temporal Forces kicking around over here. None of this stuff was in the store before, guys. Brilliant Stars, popping up. What do you think's next? Invest now. It's Pokeani's favorite set, Paradox Rift. We got some Astral Radiance. We got some pretty big prices on this stuff too, guys. We got some market prices out here. We'll talk about that in a sec. We got some Chilling Rain over here, blisters. Got some Chilling Rain sleeves. This is crazy, guys. And then we got a little Vivid Voltage. And then I went back to the shelves as well, guys. I went back to the shelves because that wasn't everything that I showed you guys before. There were a few restocks and other bits. We got little Juniper action. Now, these Juniper boxes, I was buying these for 20 bucks a year and a half ago. They got Evolving Skies in. They're $240 Canadian for that box. I think there's 6 in there. That's crazy. Absolute crazy. This was here before, but I do want to just point out, I think people are going to start pumping Pokemon Go pretty hard next. It's going to be like the next low barrier to entry set to absolutely go crazy. I mean, it's a gorgeous, cool little box, but they got some tins here. My kids tried to get me to buy these tins. I was very strong. I said, no, we're not buying these tins, girls. We had some Shroud of Fable for Donnie Slabs. I know he likes the Shroud of Fable. I left it on the shelf, little King Gambit. I already have a couple of those. And these tins, these lunch boxes, these were in Costco for ages, guys. These just couldn't freaking get rid of these. And now, like, there's Silver Tempest, there's Lost Origin. Like, I'm not picking any of these up. Like, somebody else can buy this. I've got enough of both those sets. But yeah, this is what they had. The final thing I'll show you is they got these new, well, they're not new, but they're Pokemon Go A22 Pokeballs. These just have Pokemon Go. Yeah, there's no other packs apart from Pokemon Go. But guys, this was an absolutely monster restock in my local card store. Now, if you guys are wondering why this store has so much product when Walmart and GameStop seem to be almost completely sold out, there are a couple of reasons. Number one, I walked in the day after an absolutely epic restock from distribution, and the store owners said that their distros had given them the old, oh yeah, we found this stuff behind the couch excuse for getting the product over to them, which more than likely, guys, part of it was held back and part of it was reprints. We saw the booster bundles for Surging Sparks and 151 got reprints recently, and nobody really knows what's happening. Some people like to pretend based on the information that comes out. I don't believe all of it necessarily, but that seems to be the case based on the products they had there. As for the Sword and Shield stuff, particularly the Evo Skies ETBs, the Chilling Rain and Fusion Strike packs, they were definitely held back for a later release. The owners told me the prices as well on all of this stuff were much, much higher than they usually pay. You can see, guys, on the Evolving Skies ETB, they're selling them at around a 10 to 15% profit margin, and they're 450 Canadian dollars, which is well above market price. You can also see the booster bundles here. So booster bundles used to be like $30 US back in the day, like a year ago. Now GameStop's selling them for 40 US, and this store here beyond the pond was selling them for about $90 Canadian for Surging Sparks and 151. You can see Obsidian wasn't quite as expensive. For 151 though, distribution is charging close to market price on their products. And you guys can make of that what you will, okay? On the one hand, you've got people who are like longer time collectors or people who've been doing this for a while who see this and they go, this is nuts. Like, how can they charge this much money? But you got to remember, guys, for new people in the hobby, they are just happy to be here, even if they have to pay these kinds of prices. And that's kind of why the market is where it is right now. Another reason that this store had so much product is because the usual scalpers, the usual kind of guys, you know who they are, they're hanging outside of Costco waiting for Blooming Waters to restock. Look, despite having access to Google and being able to just type in Pokemon cards near me, they don't really know this store exists. It's kind of a hole in the wall. So I wanted to share this with you guys because I was like a kid in a candy store. I thought it was pretty awesome to find this product. And for the record, as much as I would have loved to have bought everything, I only picked up some 151, okay, for my collection. I don't have one of these sealed display cases yet. I grabbed one. They still had lots left. I didn't clean out the store shelves. I'm really happy to finally get my hands on a minty one. So guys, go and check out your local card stores. See what you can find. Make friends with the owners. More product is coming. I am hearing of larger scale reprints just today that are starting to hit the market. Paldea Evolved, Twilight Masquerade, Surging Sparks. I believe there are better times ahead for the hobby. Honestly, I am convinced of it. Now let me know if there's anything I should be rushing out to scoop up in that store that you guys saw that's a great investment. And until next time, take it easy.